5 minutes early on Sunday. Hey, good morning. Oh, 5 a.m. Mester Scrum. This is the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. I am Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach. And today, I want to talk about time boxes, right? Timeboxed Talk and why and what the benefit is. Just saw something with when the guys were talking about spikes, and kind of applies to that too. But time boxing talk and why it's good. 4 whys to why it's important to have a time box talk. Maybe I should use a whiteboard. Bubbles, where's my whiteboard? There's a whiteboard. There we go, Bubbles. Got a whiteboard. Bubbles is here. Bubbles is joining us today. She's all excited. No dogs. She's like, I'm here. So what we're going to talk about today is 4 whys for time boxed talk. There we go. There you go. 4 whys. We're going to do 4. Anyway, it's the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. We are here to talk Agile and Scrum in a practical and tactical way. I got a lot of sunburn yesterday. I had visitors, walked around the city of Philadelphia for 6 hours yesterday. Left around noon, got back around 6 o'clock, so I got a little sunburn. I don't think anybody expected all that sun. Bubbles, what's with the tail? Apparently, Bubbles' tail wants to be in the show. And it's a live program, so it is what it is, right? And here, you want to say hi to everybody? Here, say hi to everybody. There's Bubbles. There's Bubbles the cat. She's like, there's no dogs. I'm just going to take over the world. We talk about Scrum and Agile in a practical and tactical way. It's why we do this show. And give some value to the customer, help you do that without working crazy hours and being all insane and stuff like that. Get home to family and friends so you can take a 6-hour walk across the city and get sunburn. And have some fun. Have some fun at work and have some fun at home. And today's topic, the 4 whys of time box talk. So let's talk about that. I'm going to give you one. And people don't understand Timebox is a tool in the toolbox for people to have conversations, to facilitate discussion. So I want to put number 1. This is my most important one. Drive to ending. Because you ever have a conversation where people just talk and talk and talk, and they never get to the end? The nice thing about a time box, Bubble, stop hitting the camera. The time box gives everyone an agreed to operational agreement of the discussion, right? If you say it has a time box, we all agree it's going to end at a certain time. Daily Scrum going to end in 15 minutes. It gives an ending closing to it so people can see that. Some people don't understand what that all does, but trust me, it gives a mental thing in people's brains that we're going to end. So we need to start coming down to an end in our conversation. So, number 2, helps people. It's not a social event. Helps people know, not social event. Especially in this time of COVID, right? People haven't seen anybody. They just want to talk and talk and talk. And by giving it a time box means we have to focus on this topic and get away with it, an outcome from this discussion. It's not, oh, I just got coffee and I just bought some biscottis from Trevini Brothers down when I was walking by. It's like, if I'm walking by this place, I'm buying these and bringing them home. I have for the coffee, but that's not part of the conversation. So by having a time box conversation, it keeps those stories tight. Okay. Number 3, it's not a continued event. Not a continued event. Why do I say that? The worst part about waterfall and when you go to a company and how they do things, they're like, let's schedule a repeating series of meetings. No, that's the worst thing to come out of anybody. That's just somebody who wants a freaking job. Okay? Anybody says, let's schedule a continuous meeting of events to solve this problem. Means one, they don't have any intention of solving the problem. Two, they just want to sound important by scheduling the meeting because now they have importance because they scheduled the meeting. And three, you'll never get the answer you need because if it really was that important and you have all those people that make all that money sitting in one spot for a meeting, solve the stupid problem, right? Or at least get as close as possible and coming out with action. I don't know. But when you're there to solve the problem. You're not there to set repeating meetings. Okay. Like I have coaching sessions, but it's not about the same issue. It's a different issue. We coach through it. We get it done. We move on. And then the next time I meet with my coachees, we go talk about another issue typically. We don't really rehash what we talked about the previous one. It's not a building thing, right? So again, not a continued event. So the idea behind the Timebox, we have 15, we have a half hour, we have 1 hour to talk and go through maybe systems thinking, convergence, do some divergence, some convergence type thinking to solve the problem. And the goal is to walk away with the problem solved, not to create new ones. Okay. And the last one, it's kind of to this one, is number 4. Goal is closure. So kind of like I said in this whole thing, the whole goal behind a Timebox event is closure. It is done, right? You have a Timebox discussion. Well, after the hour's over, our plan is to be closed on this issue within an hour, know what we're going to do, and go off and do whatever we have to solve, right? That is the idea. So 4 reasons for a Timebox event. Drive to an ending. Help people know it's not a social event. It is not a social event. 3, not a continued event. It's not a be continued event. It's a Timebox. We have 1 hour. We don't have 10 1-hour sessions to solve a problem. And again, if you do set up 10 1-hour sessions to solve a problem, that problem ain't that important, right? Stop starting and start finishing. Exactly. And the goal is closure. This is the Timebox idea. This is what it gives you focus. It's not being rude, and everybody agrees in a working agreement that it is a Timeboxed event. And I think people miss out on that and why the Timebox is so powerful. And they go, oh, yeah, we just continue. Like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no, you're going to continue this meeting. So that I want to share with you when you work with Timebox. You may have to coach people because they just don't understand the benefits of a Timebox, right? You might have to coach them because they're so used to, well, let's schedule a meeting and then we'll schedule a bunch of repeating meetings on the issue. As a coach, and people don't like hearing it from me, but I really do say, no, we're not going to schedule a repeating meeting. And maybe at the beginning of the session, you have to make that very clear. This is where a good facilitator comes into play. You get a feeling for people might want to continue the meeting, and you say, like, hey, when we get in here, the goal is when we leave this room, we have a plan of attack. We know what we're going to do. We're going to go off and do it, and we're going to fix this problem, right? It's not, well, maybe we'll talk about the next part next week. Maybe we'll just talk about, what are all the problem issues now, and then next week we'll talk about all the solutions. And that's a week to come up with the problem. Think about it, right? Let's just give a number, $100 an hour. You get 10 people in a room. You just spent $1,000, and you're going to do it again. So you just spent $1,000 on a meeting that doesn't solve anything. Where in your life are you going to spend the $1,000 on something that doesn't fix something and give value back to you yourself? Tell me one thing. I don't know. You're going to buy a TV? I'm going to get a TV and install it. $1,000. No, they're not even $1,000 anymore. I don't know what you spend $1,000 on. Tell me something. Buy a car? You're going to use it. You're going to go up and spend $1,000. I bought a car and I'm going to use it to drive work. Solves a problem. Or I bought a vacation so I can go to vacation. I don't know. $1,000 is a lot of money. And that's only if you have 10 people in the room. How many of those meetings have more than 10 people in the room? A lot of them, right? And trust me, they're getting paid more than $100 an hour for those meetings. So again, time boxes. 4 reasons for having a time box. Just close it out. Drive to an ending so everybody agrees we're going to end this thing and solve the problem when we leave. Help people know it's not a social event to go talk about what coffee, I got my little coffee cup, I got some coffee and stuff like that, or my biscotti I just got at Termini Brothers, or playing with the cat. Not a continued event. None of this be continued crap, right? Get it done. Don't be like, well, hey, I'm the Scrum Master. I'll schedule a repeating meeting so we could talk about this event, this issue over the next 5 weeks because we don't have enough time to solve it. You're just continuing the problem because you're not solving the problem there and then. That's the time box. Goal is closure. Let everyone know that we're going to talk about this for an hour. And you got to introduce it as a good facilitator. We're going to talk about this for an hour. We're going to come up with some issues that may or may not be the right one. We're going to pick a couple we're going to try to implement and see if we can't solve this problem. That's what we're going to spend this time box on. That's how you do it. All right. So I want to give that, and that same time, those same 4 things also apply to spikes, which I'll debate on another session. But those are the kind of things what a spike is about. It forces to get done. So with that, I wish you a happy Sunday. Give us a thumbs up if you like the show. If you like bubbles, right, Bubbles? You want to see more bubbles? I want to see more likes. Otherwise, you're not going to see bubble anymore. Ring that bell. How you doing? And we get notice when we go live and everything like that. And I just want to wish you all good things. Okay, hey, Bubbles, you got a like. I think maybe they want to see more bubbles. She's like, yeah, of course they want to see me. I'm the cat. I know. Anyway, have a great Sunday. Enjoy your afternoon. And see you tomorrow. Bye. See ya.